1. Hey guys, welcome back for another reaction. No, not reaction. It's something I want to try new. Okay. So far, guys, you know I haven't been posting reactions. I've been mostly MLP stuff, and this is also an MLP Equestria series. Something about it. Okay, guys. As you can all tell from the thumbnail, it's called JCP reads The Question Girls, A Friendship to Remember, Chapter 1 through 3. 1 through 3. Okay. So it's mostly this new comic book, this new book that came out yesterday. Well, not really yesterday, but was someone in Facebook actually Google Drive it. So I got it on my phone, the story. So like this, we're gonna do. I'm gonna read like the whole story, like how everyone else does it. Everyone reads the story, they read the whole thing, they narrate it, and they try to put some voice effects on it. But no, I'm not. I'm just gonna read it because I don't want to be I don't want to be the second person of Whoopcake. No, Whoopcake is the best. I just don't want to interfere with no other YouTuber. I just want to do this just to do this. Okay. This book is called A Friendship to Remember. A person thinks of a summary. They said the story is based on Sunset Shimmer doing the yearbook. And the yearbook is, she's doing a yearbook. So, Sunset Shimmer is like the editor of the yearbook. But one day something happened One day something happened. One day, I don't know what happened, but all of her friends, like the main 6, they start to forget something. Like I'm just saying, like something must have happened to them because they said that her friends are acting like in the first movie. I know, none of you remember the first movie, but I don't know. But I do remember. Everyone who doesn't know her, they think she's a meanie, like a prom queen, and fall home. So Sunset teams up with Trixie to find out what's going on, like what happened to them. And so, I'm gonna try to make this a good audio. I'm gonna try to, I'm just gonna read this. Now, if you guys like it, comment down below if you want me to do more chapters. There's 23 chapters in total, so yeah, I might have to finish this comic book. I'm actually gonna read it from my phone. I'm just gonna eliminate myself. You're gonna hear my audio. I'm just gonna put the book in. I'm just gonna make it as simple as I could. If you guys like it, comment down below if you want more chapters. If you want to hear the whole story, because people say it's a good story. This book. People are saying they should animate this, like they should make this like a real series. It's actually, I don't know. I hope you guys enjoy this. I have to use glasses, sorry, but let's start with this book. Eliminate my face. Okay. It's called, today we're reading My Little Pony, Equestria Girls, A Friendship to Remember. Chapter 1. Sunset Shimmer grabbed her camera from her locker. As the editor of Cantala High yearbook, she always had to be ready to capture a special memory. Her friends were bustling down the hallway to class. She wanted to take pictures of them all. Twilight Sparkle and Applejack called out a greeting as they passed. Sunset Shimmer snapped a photo. Fluttershy caught her eyes and smiled. At her sweetly Sunset Shimmer clicked her camera again. It was another great shot. This would be the best yearbook ever. She had to make sure there were lots of candid photos. She also had to get a photo of every club and every team, and there were so many of them. Once she finished taking the photos, the whole school needed to vote on superlatives, and then she had to arrange and lay out the pictures of the best dressed and the most talented. She wondered who would win in the best friends category this year. She knew who she was voting for. Rainbow Dash came over and said hello and posed for a photo. Just as Sunset Shimmer raised her camera, she saw Pinkie Pie sneaked up behind Rainbow Dash. Pinkie winked as she held up bunny ears behind Rainbow Dash's head. Sunset Shimmer snapped the photo, trying not to giggle. Rainbow Dash whirled around when she realized Pinkie was behind her and laughed out loud. All the girls crowded around Sunset Shimmer to look at the photo. It would be so funny and cute in the yearbook. So much had changed for Sunset Shimmer. When she first came to Canterlot High from Equestria, the magical land of ponies, she had wanted to be the queen bee. But instead of becoming the most popular girl in the world, in the whole school, she had terrified everyone by turning into a she-demon. Luckily, Princess Twilight had come from Equestria just in time to stop her path of destruction. Best of all, the very girls to whom she'd been meanest had forgiven her. They had even started hanging out with her. Since then, Sunset Shimmer had been learning about the most powerful magic of all, friendship. She used to think she was tough, but she was really just lonely. She never wanted to be all alone ever again. All day long, Sunset Shimmer took photos of her friends. She knew she would always treasure them. She captured Twilight Sparkle studying hard in the library. She took a picture of all the girls posing by Applejack's shiny red pickup truck. She never wanted to forget all their wonderful adventures together, from winning the friendship games to saving Camp Everfree and discovering the crystal geodes that gave each girl her own special magic. That afternoon, they all met in the yearbook office to begin laying out the pages. Their geodes glowed. Twilight Sparkle used her special telekinesis to upload Sunset Shimmer's camera's memory card. Rainbow Dash zoomed around the room at lightning speed from workstation to workstation. Applejack used her super strength to lift heavy printers and moved it from one table to another. All around the girls' magic sparkled. But the best magic of all was how easily and happily they worked together. Sunset Shimmer never took it for granted. I want to treasure these memories forever, she confided to the other girls. We all do, agreed Twilight Sparkle. We'll always be able to look through our yearbooks and remember how much our friendship meant to us. Best friends forever, Pinkie exclaimed. Forever and ever and ever. Forever, Sunset Shimmer repeated. She and her friends would never ever forget one another, would they? Would they? Okay, guys, let's go to chapter 2. The Queen of the Clubs. Sunset Shimmer looked over her schedule for the yearbook. She had to find a way to photograph all the after-school activities in a single afternoon. Could she do it? She would have to move fast. Hopefully nothing would go wrong. Like seeing one of her best friends walk through the front door of the high school with a giant pig. But that's just what Sunset Shimmer saw that morning. As Applejack tugged a plump pig through the hall on a leash. Oh no! What was Applejack doing? Sunset Shimmer rushed over to find out. The pig grunted before plopping down in the middle of the hallway. Applejack yanked on his leash, but he wouldn't budge. She laughed. Rarity stared at the pig, winkling her nose Why did you bring a pig to school, Applejack? Sunset Shimmer asked her friend. Today, of all days, it's photo day for all the clubs. Applejack exclaimed. Exactly, exclaimed Sunset Shimmer. Ah, it's a young farmers club tradition to have your critter in the yearbook picture. Gushed Fluttershy, coming over to pat the pig. He snorted and blinked his long-lashed eyes. What could Sunset Shimmer say? She hadn't thought about the animals that needed to have their photos taken. She looked over her schedule. You're lucky you're in only one club, said Rainbow Dash to Applejack. I'm in five clubs this year. So busy. Applejack looked concerned. Young Farmers is just one of the six clubs I'm in. Rainbow Dash shook her head. Not impressed. I meant five clubs. Darlings, please. Rarity stepped in the middle in to make peace. It's not a competition. Actually, it is, piped up Sunset Shimmer. The yearbook always had a special photo of the most involved student, only I haven't figured out who that is yet. Rainbow Dash grinned. Applejack's eyes lit up. A competition. Rainbow Dash and Applejack liked nothing more than competing. They studied each other. Who was the more who was in more clubs? Who could be in more clubs? Who would win the prize for most involved when the yearbook came out? That afternoon, Rainbow Dash raced from one meeting to another. She sped into the library, crashed into Sunset Shimmer, who was just setting up the photo, and studied a chessboard for less than a second. Moved a piece, grinned, and dashed out. She had to get to her next club. At another table in the library, Applejack played August the Unlickless with Trixie and a bunch of other kids. They studied the board, and a giant map covered the figures. Everyone who wore a silly hat, except Applejack, who had on a football helmet. She clearly didn't fit. That she clearly didn't fit, and especially since her pig sat beside her. But that didn't matter. She would get her picture in the yearbook no matter what. Sunset Shimmer clicked her camera. She looked at the photos. Not so good, except for the pig. He was actually quite photogenic. She took another picture of the game players. Meanwhile, Rainbow Dash had joined Fluttershy's knitting club. The girls sat on the steps of the school with balls of yarn. Their needles flashed in the sun. Rainbow Dash picked up a pair and knitted fast, super fast. In under a minute, she held up a tiny sweater with the design of the Canterlot High Wondercolts. Fluttershy clapped her hands, delighted, and put it on her pet bunny. Sunset Shimmer snapped a photo for the yearbook. What a moment of treasure! But Applejack and Rainbow Dash didn't have time to treasure anything. They were too busy racing from club to club. Applejack showed up in the gym, ready to have her picture taken with the fencing club. They all stood on the mat wearing their fencing gear, masks on their faces, and swords in their hands. Applejack was confused. She had brought a piece of the fence from her farm. Still, she jumped into the photo anyway, pulling her pig beside her. She put a lot of effort into fixing that fence. Why couldn't she be in the fencing club? Is there any rule against it? Applejack asked Sunset. Her pig grunted happily beside her. Nope, she answered, taking a moment to catch her breath. She wasn't in any clubs except yearbooks, but that one club kept her busier than all of them combined. Putting together a yearbook took a lot of work. As soon as soon as the photo shoot was over, Applejack raced across the gym to where the cheerleaders were meeting. They all formed a pyramid, but Applejack touched her sparkly geode necklace and activated her super strength. She was going to lift all the cheerleaders into the air. She did it with one hand, her, her pig standing right beside her. Her pig smiled, the star of the photo shoot yet again. That would be an amazing picture, and it was. Sunset Shimmer heard a huge explosion in the distance. It sounded like an experiment gone wrong. "The Science Club," she said. She had to get there fast. Applejack and her pig raced down the hallway beside her. "Cooking is a kind of science," she said Applejack breathlessly, "and I'm great at cooking. This will be another great club for me." But Rainbow Dash had already beaten her to it. Twilight Sparkle shook her head as Rainbow Dash held up a smoking test tube. Oops, she had soot all over her face. But Sunset Shimmer had somehow managed to capture it all. It would be in the yearbook, another memory of her friends, and how creative and wonderful they were. But Applejack frowned and counted on her fingers. Did Rainbow Dash have more clubs than she did now? Maybe. Rainbow Dash took off down the hall and whizzed into the art room. She picked up a paintbrush and splattered some colors across a canvas. She wasn't half bad. She glanced out the window as the marching band passed by practicing. Oh no. Applejack was clanging a triangle. She had joined that club too. Rainbow Dash would have to find another club to keep up with her. Were there any left? Sunset Shimmer leaned against the wall and looked back over the photos. Art clubs, check. Marching band, check. Somehow she had kept up with her busy friends, and so had the pig. Now, who was in the most clubs? It was time to tally the scores. The bell rang. All after-school activities were now over. Exhausted, Rainbow Dash collapsed on the front lawn. Applejack and her pig joined her. They both grinned at each other. They had been it that had been fun. Who had won? Sunset Shimmer joined them, camera in hand. She was tired too. She whipped some sweat from her forehead. No, she wiped some sweat from her forehead. Where the scores are in, she began looking at the paper in her hand. Applejack looking over her shoulder. She couldn't believe it. It was a damn tie. Tied. "You have got to be kidding me," Rainbow Dash said with a laugh. "After all that, at least between the two of us, we joined every club at Cantalar High," noted Applejack. That was an achievement. Rarity cleared her throat. She had joined them and sat down beside Applejack's pig. Not all the clubs," she said smugly. Applejack and Rainbow Dash looked confused. Rarity had Sunset Shimmer scroll down the photos on her camera and to a glamour shot of Rarity, all by herself. What club was this? Was it about fashion or celebrities? Could they join? Rarity laughed. "Oh no, darling. It was exclusive. It's very exclusive. Applejack studied the picture in the background. She noticed her pig. What was he doing in the photo? Is that my pig? Well, of course, Rarity exclaimed. You can't expect me to be the president and the vice president, and he's not really so smelly once he's wearing a little perfume. Sunset Shimmer shook her head, looking through the photos on her camera. Your pig is the real winner, she told Applejack. He's in more clubs than anyone. Everyone laughed, and the pig grunted happily. Sunset Shimmer was the happiest of all. Her friends were so energetic and involved and funny every day. Was an adventure with them, and she never wanted to forget a single moment they had shared. Thanks to the yearbook, she wouldn't have to. That was for sure. Chapter 2 done. Chapter 3. Chapter 3. Superlatives. Sunset Shimmer was directing Twilight Sparkle and Applejack as they arranged photos in the yearbook room. They had to be carefully cropped to fit into the layout. Sunset Shimmer was really happy with the way the yearbook was beginning to look. That's because they were working on it as a team. I remember when I didn't have any friends, Sunset Shimmer said to the others, but you all forgave me for stealing their magic crown. Of course we did, said Applejack. And since then, we have had a lot of good times together. Remember when we found our magic gems? She touched the geodes around her neck. How could I forget? How could I ever forget? Exclaimed Sunset Shimmer. She clapped her hands and accidentally bumped into a girl she hadn't noticed before in the yearbook office. Oops. Excuse me, whispered a girl. I'm sorry, Sunset Shimmer apologized. I didn't see you. Come in. The girl bit her lip, looking down at the floor shyly. I've been here a while, she murmured. I didn't realize I've been trying to get your attention, she interrupted. Ain't she a quiet one? Noted Applejack softly. Yeah, agreed Rainbow Dash. And we know some pretty shy people, am I right? She looked at Fluttershy, who blushed. I'm Sunset Shimmer, she said to the new girl, president of the yearbook committee and editor-in-chief. Do you want to join? We could always use extra help. Um, I'm Wallflower, answered the girl, still not meeting her eyes. Nice to meet you, answered Sunset Shimmer. I've been on the yearbook committee all year, Wallflower said quietly. Sunset Shimmer felt terrible. Oh, we had literally dozens of classes together since we met in ninth grade English. Wallflower looked like she was about to cry. I meant stammered. Stammered. Sunset Shimmer. It was a nice to meet you then. When is when? I also remember us meeting. Twilight breathed a sigh of relief. Nice save. Anyway, Wallflower said with a sigh, I counted up all the votes for the yearbook superlatives voted on which kids they thought were best at all different kinds of things. Whoever won got his or her picture taken and had a special page in the yearbook. Sunset Shimmer read the superlatives out loud. Most likely to succeed, best smile, class clown. Her face broke into a big smile and she held up the paper for the other girls to see. Look, who won best friends? They were all their names: Applejack, Fluttershy, Rainbow Dash, Rarity, Pinkie Pie, Twilight, and Sunset Shimmer. Sunset Shimmer's heart felt so happy. Nothing meant more to her than this. Pinkie Pie clapped her hands. Delighted. I always knew I liked you all, but now it's official in yearbook form. The people have spoken. Twilight looked at some of the other categories on the list. Oh, good. For microchips, she noted, a little unhappy, most likely to invent cold fusion. Don't be jealous, Twilight, said Fluttershy. Encouragingly, we all know you are a genius, too. Besides, Rainbow Dash added, it's just a yearbook. The other girls gasped. Now, you're done it, whispered Applejack, shaking her head. Just a yearbook, Sunset Shimmer was crestfallen. The student body has entrusted me with the responsibility of gathering memories into the pages of the book. In 30 years, we might not remember everything, but we will remember what's in the yearbook. Wallflower was particularly affected by her words. She looked like she would cry again. If I'm not in it, would that mean I didn't exist? Wallflower tried to smile. Hey, just kidding. But she spoke so quietly that the other girls didn't even hear her. They were all focused on Sunset Shimmer. And now, thanks to everyone voting for us, we'll always remember that we're best friends, Sunset Shimmer announced. And who's got best muscles? Rainbow Dash smiled and pointed at the sheet. I'm entrusting you not to put our pictures opposite that page. Every time you close the book, it'll be like we're kissing Bug's biceps. The girls laughed out loud. That would be terrible. Speaking of photography, announced Rarity, why don't we take our pictures at the beach? Saturday. The likely will be absolutely to die for. Beach day, squealed Pinkie. I'll make my world famous fun in the sun cupcakes. Fluttershy's eyes widened. Widened. That sounded yummy. The secret ingredient, Pinkie whispered to Fluttershy, is edible sunscreen. It's SPF delicious. Fluttershy's face fell. That sounds yucky. The door to the yearbook office flew open. It was Trixie, and she was furious about something. The great and powerful Trixie demands to speak to the yearbook editor immediately. Sunset Shimmer stepped forward reluctantly. Unfortunately for me, that's me. What do you want, Trixie? Trixie snatched the list of superlatives from her hand and studied it. Just as I suspected, I was not voted greatest and most powerful. Explain yourself. Said Sunset Shimmer, thinking. How should I put this? You didn't win greatest and most powerful because it wasn't one of the categories. Trixie flounced right past Sunset Shimmer and pulled an older yearbook from the shelf. She turned to the superlatives. Neither was biggest meanie, but that didn't stop you from winning. It our freshman year. She held up the yearbook from a picture of Sunset Shimmer. She was scrolling and looked like she was about to hit the photographer. Seeing the picture reminded Sunset of all the mistakes she had made. She felt terrible, but she tried to stay calm. That was a long time ago. A lot of wonderful things had happened since. Then that was different. Applejack jumped in. Yeah, Sunset Shimmer was so mean that the whole school did a write-in vote. The editor said the editor had no choice but to make an official agreed Rarity Sunset won the biggest meanie fair and square. Rainbow Dash told Trixie, agreed Fluttershy. She was so mean, remember? Said Pinkie. None of the girls realized how much their memories were affecting Sunset until it was too late. Sunset Shimmer's face was red with embarrassment. She took a deep breath. I hope I've earned the right not to be remembered that way. Of course, said Twilight Sparkle. Reassuringly, we all know that you've changed, Sunset. Sunset Shimmer tossed the yearbook aside in any case. She said to Trixie, we're not having a greatest and most powerful superlative. Sorry. You're the one who'll be sorry, from Trixie, her eyes narrowing. When you least expected, I'll have my revenge, and then I'll disappear like this. She waved her hands dramatically. Behold the magician's exit. Trixie threw a smoke bomb in the middle of the room. Poof! But when the smoke cleared, Trixie was still there, jiggling a handle of the door out of the yearbook room. She couldn't get it open. Allow me, said Sunset Shimmer. Flicked and locked, we were actually on the way out. Trixie stormed out in front of her, and the girls all burst out laughing. As they left, Sunset Shimmer hit the lights. From the darkness came a small, quiet voice. Oh, I was still in here. But that's okay. I'm used to it. Nobody saw Wallflower leave all by herself, the old yearbook under her arm. Okay guys, we're done reading 3 chapters. I hope you guys enjoy it. For me, it was interesting. I want to know how are they forgetting this. We'll find out later. If you guys enjoy this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and don't forget to comment down below if you want to hear more. I know my voice is not really that good. I make mistakes, but I'm gonna edit it right now. But when you hear it, it feels normal. But when I'm editing, it feels kind of weird because I repeat words and repeat phrases. Now, if you guys enjoy this, comment down below if you want chapters 4 to 6, because I'm only reading 3 chapters per time because it's long and plus I gotta read on my phone. I hope you guys enjoy this. Chapter 2 was basically on the Queen of the Clubs short, and chapter 1 and 2 were like good chapters. If you guys enjoy it, leave a like and subscribe if you want me to continue this. See you guys next time on the next chapters of Equestria Girls, a friendship to remember. See you guys. Make me so happy. See you guys. Bye.